The adapters are pretty.
Well, what's the deal?
nice,
So, I know, at least in the school, when we talk about installing a package,
Now basically you put the RG Hive.
you know, we give you the ideal time. 4 o'clock in the afternoon, a sunny day, and it doesn't look like we're going to have it over the next 2 days. So, yeah, I mean, you have to do what you have to do. So, what I recommend everybody does is, you know, the bees got to conform to our time a little bit too. And you have to take the chance. More than likely, you're not going to have a problem. So, make a list, make sure you have everything with you, your hive tool, your brush, hair pliers, your beetle traps are all set to go. You don't want to be having to run back up to the house to go get stuff and be halfway through here. Because that's what they don't want to wait for. You want to get them in the box and you want to close it up and walk away from it. Now, these Dave Hayden's got these are really nice, these little entrance reducers. They've got a screen on one side and they're adjustable. You can close them, open them, so if you're using the wooden ones, you want your smallest entrance. Tip it up so with the smallest entrance, you want to kind of get these bees to stay in. Now, I know Ani does the soft install, and she did anybody that went to the school. The soft install is you take the queen out, put her in on a frame, and then just put the box in here in an empty box and let them come out on their own. And you know, ordinarily I'd say that's fine. I don't do that myself. I kind of like the thrill of doing the whole thing. And particularly if the nights are getting a little bit colder, if the bees stay in the box, then they're going to abandon the queen. And I don't think she'll die in 45-degree weather, but she's definitely going to get chilled. I mean, a bee will die, the temperature's got to be about 28 degrees or lower for several hours, and then they'll die of hypothermia. Okay, so I don't think that's going to happen. So, I mean, if you're really feeling like you should do a soft install, if that's what you want to do, go ahead. So this is an empty box because this is the type of feeder. I don't know, Ray was recommending the black one with the wood around it. Okay, so you don't need the empty box because it's already got a wooden side built around this, right? No inner cover. Yeah, so put that off to the side. I've already put elastic bands. You want like a middle frame. Okay, this happens to be drawn foundation because this is from our queen rearing program. Okay, but if you don't have drawn, you're not going to have, most people aren't going to have drawn foundation unless you had a hive that failed last year. Okay, I have one here with we just built it out. Okay, but I'm going to put her on this one. So what you want to do is take enough rings out so that when you shake these bees in, they're not falling on top. Okay, so that's how I get ready to go. Now, I strongly recommend the veil. And I know you'll see it on YouTube and stuff all the time where people don't use veils. But unless you're really used to the bees coming up and they're possibly flying up your nose or in your ear and you're not going to panic, wear a veil. Now, I'm going to do this without gloves just to show you how calm these bees really are. And I'm still liable maybe to get stung, but the big thing is don't panic. What I do is, because I have a dog, a little baby powder, and it takes the scent off my hands. So you got the hive all set in. I've got sugar water. I've got my beetle traps. I got my tools, my oil. And I'm going to go right at this package. So what I found with these, because we did a few of these yesterday, was that these staples are staying in. So when you take the queen out of here, that's going to expose the hole, and you put this down, everybody can see how it's raised. The bees are going to start coming out. And what you want to do is keep them in here until you're ready for them. So what I did yesterday was I was just pulling these staples out so that that wood sits down flat. Okay, so the queen cage is that little round disc. Everybody see it? The little round disc. And the can is naturally the sugar water that's in here. All right, so I'm going to take that out first, and we're going to get the queen installed. And hopefully we're going to keep as many bees in here as we can. So I got the wood ready. Now you can see how it sits down flat? I'm going to take her out first. And some of these bees are going to come out. You can't stop this. Hold it about there, and then I'm just going to slide this right over. Now, first thing you want to do, you see them going at my hand, but because of the powder, they're cool with that. You want to make sure that that queen is running around here. You got the blue dot on it, you see her? And you want to make sure that she's moving. I mean, there's a possibility that you could have a dead queen. You want to make sure that she's moving, freely moving around, and pretty active. If she's not, we have spare queens. Okay? Yeah, you want to do this ASAP.
So we're not doing it at 4.
I'm sorry?
So you had suggested it was 4 o'clock, but
No. All I'm saying is if you open this up and the queen comes out and you see that she's dead, you want to get a hold of Ian or somebody right away and get another queen. Okay, I wouldn't even install a package, because then there's nothing that they may not want to stay in the hive. Okay, so get another queen as soon as you can. We have them. We'll make some kind of arrangement for meeting you, or you can come to where we are, or whatever. Okay, but you got to have that queen's got to be alive. Okay, so I already put. This is what I like to do, the elastic bands. Any way you want to secure that is up to you. The candy is underneath this little metal ring, and you want to make sure that the candy is all in there and it's full. You don't want her out right away. We want at least a day or 2. But once you take this off, you're not going to be able to control it. So if you take this little metal cover off and the candy's not in there, in the school I gave you a little formula for making queen candy. It's basically confectionery sugar and Karo syrup. Okay, and you can make your own candy and fill it up. Now here, let me go back here, Cliff. It's not full. You see it, it's not full here, but if you look at this whole candy, that whole ring, it's got holes like that. All that candy is in there, so you can't see through. It's going to take them a day or 2 to see through that candy. Whoop. Okay. See the candy? Okay. Okay, so now here's what I recommend. You can put the queen cage this way, or this way. Do not put the screen up against the foundation like that, or the bees can't get at her. Candy end up, because there's workers in here, and if they don't get in there right away and some of the workers die and the candy is down, the workers will cover the candy hole and the bees won't be able to get through to let her out. All right, so here's the top of the frame. I'm going to put it in like this. I like to use 2 rubber bands because I've done one and then gone back and found out one of the bands broke for some reason, especially if you're using older bands. So two rubber bands. I like to put it at a little bit of a 45. The candy end is up. And then I'm going to put her in here. And if you're using new drawn out frames, you don't have to worry about pushing them too close, because the way I have this, I could push this up against this frame like this and then block off so they can't get at the queen. And I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen. And in fact, I have a new frame here, and what I'll do is I'll put it like this. Okay, so pure pliers. And this is why I had the pliers, because we're going to do the can. Now, a lot of people use their Hive tool for this, but even with this, it's kind of a little bit of a pain. Where's Cliff when I need him?
Where's your Hive tool?
Okay, let me get this. I can get
Yeah.
my finger on it, I'll grab it, but.
Let me see.
I got it. I guess these pliers aren't that great.
Yeah, they work.
Sometimes.
I use them in combination with the Hive tool.
Right here. Oh.
There you go.
Okay,
You got it
got
now.
it.
Got it. You got it? Okay.
Yep. Oh, I didn't realize it was you.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
You can get stung. All right, so
Yeah, I don't
don't
care
throw
at
this
least.
away.
Oh, it's
It's good sugar water, all right? You can pour this into your, right into the Hive top feeder if you want. So now,
Wow.
some guys bang this down. I don't really usually bother with that. I don't.
Yep.
You watch, the majority of the bees are going to come out of here. So that
Yeah,
they're looking for the queen right now.
Come on.
I watched this in a video once.
Well, now you're here for the real thing.
Takes a little bit.
Dang, a lot.
Come on.
Sometimes you just have to. Yeah.
I know it.
This episode.
We just see how many bees are on top of your pot.
Now on a cool day like this, if you're really worried about these bees,
Don't worry about it. We're going to walk completely.
what I usually do is just pop this wood off. When it was really warm out, I'd just leave these bees in the box and they'll find their way out. But being so cool, and we want to get most of these out. And you can see they're not leaving the hive.
They're protecting the queen. I want to see.
Everybody else can't see around here.
Okay. Okay, now when we put these frames back in, so I'm going to put this one in first because that's going up against the queen cage. And I want to leave enough room so that I can see the bees. I actually did that with the screen. Yep, I can't look through that, can I? Put these frames down. Now there's a big pile of bees in here. Don't push them down. Just set them like that. See, now I hit bees right there and just, the bees will move out of the way. That way you're not squishing them. Okay, high beetle trap. Now you could have filled this up beforehand. I just want to show you about how much you want to use in here. About halfway or less. Because what ends up happening is when you do your hive inspections and you tip this a little, it'll spill out on you. Okay, now this particular feeder, Like that. Now this feeder holds about 1.5 gallons, but I'm not going to fill it up because we have to move these bees. I'm just going to give them enough to make them happy.
Hey, Greg.
Wow. That's a lot.
And then good to go. A lot of times I just put this right up on top.
Hey, they're coming out.
Question. Glenn, question here.
Yep, go
Pick up. Why do you put the empty box on top of it versus just put the cover on top of the
Yeah, you can put it.
box?
You do anything you
Doesn't make
want
any-
with that.
doesn't-
Yeah, no, actually, most people
Well, yeah,
will pop
but-
this open and pour it right in. And I just didn't want too much liquid in there. Oh, the empty box on this?
Yeah, why are you putting an empty box on top?
All right,
of
so
it?
this particular feeder requires an empty box above it.
Oh, it does.
because
can't
if
just
you-
put that cover on
Yeah,
top
if you
of it?
put the cover right on top of that, it won't seal, and it'll wobble, and then the bees will get up underneath the edge. So by putting the extra box with this cover on, the bees can't get up and get in here and drown. So now, yep.
More for the installation, if you have the option to wait until Monday, looking better. Will harm these things being in there that long?
Where?
In
In the box?
Yeah, in
No,
the
if
box.
you keep them cool, and
I mean, you're better off just putting them in today.
yeah, I think so. I don't
Today's
see any
actually
problem
better,
with-
isn't it?
I don't see any problem with today at all.
In
No
a way,
problem at
today's
all.
better.
Yep. So I think you're good to go with that. I wouldn't hesitate. It's not raining out. I don't think it's a real big deal. So now, let them be 3 days. But 3 days, and then you want to go back, and you want to go right to that queen cage. So pull out another frame, and then take the queen cage out and see if she's out. If she's out, you're good to go. You get rid of the elastic bands. I recommend just cut them. You know, rather than try and get them off, just take a pair of scissors, cut them off, get the queen cage, get it out of there. If she's not out, okay, there's a couple different methods. If she's not out, I would probably just leave it alone for one more day. Put it back, put everything back just the way it is. They haven't got through the candy. Leave it one more day, and then I go in on the 4th day, and if she's not out then I recommend you pull that little cork out. Do it over the hive, pull the cork out, keep your finger over, and put that queen cage right back in there, and let her come out that hole herself. If she's not out on the 5th day, she still doesn't come out of there, well then I recommend you take the screen off the cage and get her out. But do it over the hive, because she will fly. Even she can fly probably from here to down to there, and then you're trying to pick her up off the ground.
If you run into difficulties, post on the Yahoo groups. Don't not tell anybody. Tell somebody.
So these bees will come out of here too. I leave this here for the day. Leave it with the end out or up this way, so that because they tend to go more up. And they'll find their way in. They're going to find their way in. You're not losing that many bees even if they die. Any other questions? Pretty simple, right? Yeah. I never got stung once. I got that one little blood. I cut myself on the screen.
Thanks, Glenn. That was great.